I'm so glad Jasmine said what we were all thinking about Priya. I don't know if you guys remember, but when Priya did the whole love triangle thing with Lorenzo, Jasmine basically just point blank asked her, did you want him to basically end it with me and stop talking to me? And Priya didn't really have an answer. I think that's when Jasmine clocked like, oh, you were doing too much. Especially when they were in that three-way conversation and Priya was basically just saying, you don't really like him, you've been saying that, da 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 da. It really came across as like, you're doing all this for Lorenzo's approval in front of Jasmine's face for what? And I think it's so difficult because Jasmine's genuinely just not been like that towards anyone in the villa. Like, she's always been hyping Priya up, even when Priya was getting to know Lorenzo. And even now, you could see this episode, she found it really difficult to just say to Priya, like, oh, this is a weird situation. I would prefer that you don't. Instead of saying that, she was just like, obviously, you need to do what you need to do in here. It's not Friend Island, etc., etc. And it's because she's, again, putting Priya's feelings first in that situation above her own. Honestly, I don't really see it between Kevin and Jasmine, so I'm not going to be mad if Priya does break that situation up. And in other news, Samraj is now a free agent. I told you guys a couple debriefs ago, I been knew Mika was just leading him on. Like, she was not feeling it. You could tell there was no chemistry there from Mika's side. So it always feels good to be so right. But now I'm hoping this like pushes Samraj to kind of shake things up in the villa. Maybe initiating some conversations with Jasmine? We need to shut down this whole Lorenzo, Yasmin, and Aiden situation. Let's be so for real. Yasmin wants Lorenzo and she is just struggling to pick Lorenzo because she knows Lorenzo has other options, whereas Aiden doesn't really. Especially since Aiden shut it down with Ellie. I think Yasmin knows she has Aiden wrapped around her finger in a way and she could always squeeze back in even if Aiden went with Ellie. So she knows she has more safety with staying with Aiden. However, seeing what's happening tomorrow night, this was always going to happen. This was going to be inevitable. I just don't even know what the fallout of this is going to look like because realistically, I don't think Aiden and Yasmin are really that strong a couple anyway. And because Lorenzo is a bit of an airhead in there, I feel like people just let him get away with whatever. So I'm not even going to be surprised if there is little to no fallout from that situation. Finally, with Tommy, what is going on? I'm not gonna lie, he's a bit boring. When he was kissing Ellie, I was just thinking, you guys don't really have any chemistry. I don't know why Ellie is still in there. Like, if they're gonna push the Aiden and Ellie storyline, they need to just begin it tomorrow, which they just might. But Tommy doesn't seem to really have chemistry with anyone. He doesn't seem to have much of a strong personality. That kiss with Namibia on the terrace was just kissing for the sake of kissing. And hey, if it's gonna add some drama to tomorrow's episode, at least he's doing something. I do agree with his and Simba's sentiment though, that everybody is playing it safe. And at the end of the day, they are bombshells, so they need to go around doing this because realistically, this is just week 2.